It's a concern that's shared across denominations, but it's also important to recognise it's shared across faiths and those of no faith as well. I was just visiting my local Sikh temple just last week, and they made it very clear to me what their case is and what is shared amongst faiths is that they are implacably opposed to the proposals for redefining marriage, and they're extremely concerned. And they're also concerned beyond issues of faith, beyond issues of equality, to ones of liberty. And that's an issue that should be shared, and indeed is shared across communities. Their concern that this debate, at the very least, of a freedom of expression should be properly heard and reasoned heard. I've experienced myself, since raising the issue of affirming the traditional definition of marriage as a union of a man and a woman, I myself have been subjected to hate mail, to accusations of homophobia, and to death threat as well, which is just extraordinary when one is affirming what the law is as it stands and has done historically for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And that's something which many people are concerned, whether they're of faith or none, and we must at the very least be able to have this debate in a reasoned manner that respects freedom and also recognises that if we do redefine marriage, it will impact on people's freedoms, on that teacher who is wanting to affirm their religious conscience in teaching traditional marriage. If the law is changed, then they'll be challenged by that. And so we need to recognise that it's not just an issue of churches against civil society, it's an issue affecting us all and a matter of freedom. And why this is a coalition for marriage is that this provides a good opportunity to debate what marriage is about and to look at it from the context about marriage. And the issue is, if you redefine marriage, if you change its shape, you change its purpose. And for us to remind ourselves of its great purposes and how that shapes other policies. And so this does provide that opportunity. And this is the basis of the debate that it should be. It shouldn't just be about issues of rights. We've had it well explained that that is an argument which doesn't have the issue of necessity. It is one about a matter of principle, about whether we support the purpose of marriage. And that is how it's properly defined in law presently. And if we change that shape, if we change the prerequisite of marriage, and we change that structure, then the institution of marriage will be weakened. Just to effectively agree with the premise of your question, is that equality is not uniformity, and it's important that we don't, in the general strive for equality, mix with the issue of uniformity. And we just need to recognise the difference in relationships, and we are where we are in terms of the law, and we have civil partnerships which properly respect and provide proper rights for same-sex couples, and need to recognise that there are obviously loving, committed, same-sex relationships, but that relationship is different from marriage and different as defined in marriage. And you move on to talk about the issue of parenthood, and the reality is that one purpose of marriage, which is properly recognised over the years, has been the inherent capacity for a man and a woman to have and provide for children. And therefore there is an impact on a redefinition of marriage, on the issue of parenthood. Indeed, society would be asking the question, why are we licensing a relationship based on love and commitment? If it's based on that alone, how long will society go on valuing such a license? Referendums are when there are constitutional implications, and whilst I myself wouldn't advocate a need for a referendum, Parliament itself needs to, after a considered reasoned debate, need to take a view. But I think before that, the point that's made here is, indeed, this is a coalition for marriage. What we're saying is the question needs to be asked before we move into a consultation about the how, is asking whether we need to do this, and has the case really been made for change? Has the case really been made to change the law? It is not just about us defending marriage, it's about where is the real case for change? But that has constitutional implications, and we are where we are in terms of law, but also with the relationship with the Church of England as the established church, and the implications on that does raise significant and profound constitutional questions. And that also then asks the question, why are we taking this course of action? And so in terms of the principle of referendums around constitutional implications, this would be one of those, but whether we need to go down the route is another question.